have to say this young man is probably one of my favorite people to film with, and that would be Captain Codty Pierce, who now is the Calusa Waterkeeper. He's not only one of the better guides I've ever fished with, but his love of making things right in the outdoor world is really, it's unmatched. We are parked and paid for here.
Ready for a great day.
Yep,
it's good to see
you.
You.
Ready for a great day. What are we after? What are we chasing?
Well, we're going to try to fish some snook and tarpon today. We're going to change it up. You know, our last couple of adventures, we've been quite successful, you know, in catching redfish and trout. But today I'm going to show you some different stomping grounds, and we're going to fish one of the eldest parts of the Caloosahatchee River today. So.
Oh, how appropriate.
Absolutely.
Being with the Caloosahatchee Waterkeeper. Sounds like a fitting beginning for me.
We're launching out quite a ways up the Caloosahatchee tributary. This is going to give us uncanny access this morning to fish one of the eldest and most intact stretches of the upper Caloosahatchee River that I'm very happy to share with you today. So, as you know, a lot of these species, snook and tarpon, you know, they follow a migration path. And this is an area that we'll be going today that I think they've been coming to for eons. So in the late 1880s, the state of Florida had the upper reaches of the Caloosahatchee dredged. So we'll actually be fishing little oxbows and off turns of the river that are intact the way that they were before.
They used to be.
Yep,
yeah.
Before the major changes. And the fish, you know, they absolutely take note of that, and they still follow the same movements and congregate in the same areas as their ancestors did as well. So we got a nice red-winged blackbird to start the morning. That's pretty cool. The big male sitting here in the tree just calling away.
Yeah, one of my favorite birds and favorite songs that they sing
Absolutely.
every morning.
It's very iconic of Florida. You know, it was we're very blessed to have a lot of songbirds, and it's a good start to the day. So we got a nice incoming tide, and we plan to utilize that to the best of our potential today, and we should have a really productive morning.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been here since Hurricane Ian, so this is going to be a welcome back.
It is.
A welcome back. When you're fishing the Caloosahatchee River, that is probably one of the most historic rivers in Southwest Florida for snook fishing. It's always been that way. I mean, some serious 40-inch fish are caught there every year. Now, there are some tributaries that run off, just little creeks and things that run off that main Caloosahatchee, and all of them have areas that snook collect up in. So when we made the run downriver, we just ducked into one of those creeks where we felt comfortable that we were going to be out of the wind and in a situation where we still had some viable plays in there fishing along mangroves to target snook and to target little tarpons and things like that. Those fish should be there.
Whole school of them right here. I think either they're tarpon or mullet. I can't tell. Just right below the surface. Yep, they're tarpon. Little twitches, little twitches, little twitches. Come on, guys. These are all tarpon. Yep. Ooh. Come on, guys. Come on. Ooh. Oh, come on. Woo! Woo!
Watch out, Cody. Watch out, Cody.
Yes, sir. Oh, that was awesome.
Oh,
Talk about front row seats, pal.
I thought you were just gonna take them off right there on the pulling platform, dude.
Well, if I had better sports skills, I could have grabbed them, but nice.
I mean.
What a beauty.
I mean.
All right, big guy coming down. Ooh.
There should be a little hook out sitting in there somewhere. It's a little grabber one. We can just leave it out.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can just reach in here. Come on. Whoa. And he's off.
Quick release.
I was gonna get rid of him anyway, so.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's better for the fish.
Yeah.
Nice job. Very nice job.
having the opportunity to fish for snook this late in the season, you know, one thing comes to mind, and that's plug fishing. Power fishing is something that we do very well together, but throwing plugs all day, you know, the first thing that comes to mind for that is snook fishing.
When I'm plug fishing, it's probably the most exciting thing that I still get fired up about, because that's how I started fishing for snook, was throwing Mirrolures. And even though now we have new profiles and new colors that make it new to us, it's the same old stuff that I've been doing forever. Throwing a hard bait into the trees, precision casts, knowing that if you get it in there and you let it kind of shimmy down for about a 2 count and then start bouncing it out, they're gonna follow it out and they're gonna attack it. And when you get a 30-inch snook, get grabby with it and get on it, man, I don't care who you are, that gets your blood pumping.
Oh, there he is. Big snook, big snook, big snook. Yes, sir.
Oh, stay
yes,
on,
sir.
baby. Stay on.
Yes, sir.
Stay on.
Oh, nice job, CA. Nice job.
Stay on. I will need your assistance if we're lucky enough.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, buddy, oh, buddy, oh, buddy.
Come on, baby. I'm trying to get him up.
Yep, yep, yep.
Woo! I'll tell you what, beating these trees, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. There's a few frustrations sometimes when you get hung up, but if you're diligent enough, you can catch some really solid fish. Man, can't thank you enough for the opportunity to be able to cast in this special place.
That was my pleasure, CA.
You got some real opportunity to get some PBs.
Yes, you do. And this is the time of year. Spring fishing at its best. Start to break up a little bit of that lactic acid, and she's about ready. So we say au revoir.
Oh yeah. A Caloosahatchee special right there, brother.
Yes, sir.
I can tell you this. I started off my career a long time ago plug fishing. And when I get that opportunity to do it all day with a quality guide like Cody, and I get to catch snook and hook tarpon, it's a challenge, but to me, it's not a challenge. If most anglers understood some of the small nuances of plug fishing, they'd realize how many quality fish they could really encounter in a day of fishing over the soft bait option. It really is amazing. The fish behave, especially snook, very aggressively to flashy plug fishing. Don't discount it, embrace it, get better at it. You'll catch some really good fish. Oh man, that's a pretty fish.
It sure
and that
is.
plug got hung up on a little twig overhanging the water. I twitched it off, just shook it off and let it sink, and the next time I kicked it, he was right there. He could see the silhouette of that bait up there on that branch, and he came for it.
It further proves that vertical presentation, you know, the pause with the Mirrodine is so important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna unhook this one and let him go.
Talk about incredible physiology, and that's a snook.
Man, the fish are amazing.
Flat bottoms and that hydrodynamic head to them.
Yeah, they're like a little race car.
They are. It's a heck of a specimen.
So I've always been naturally attracted to exploring and fishing, you know, the out of reach areas. That's one beautiful thing about fishing the mangroves and exploring the saltwater ecosystem, is that there are lots of places that most people aren't so keen on going into adventure, but this day and age, it really gives you the opportunity to fish fish that are unspoiled and to learn a lot about this area that people don't get to see.
So Cody told me, he goes, hey, there's going to be a few places in this creek where we might encounter some mid 30-inch range snook that are really going to get after it. He goes, and you're going to have to be ready for it. I was like, sure. I got him.
I'll back us up. Sorry, bud. All right, all right. I don't even know what to do, man.
When it happened, neither one of us were ready for it. I mean, we couldn't even speak to each other. It was just a bunch of grunting and moving and shuffling. I'm trying to... He's gonna get me in there.
Yep, yep, yep.
Hold on, I'm gonna get him out. I'm gonna get him out, baby.
Oh, nice
I'm gonna
job.
get him out. Nice save.
Job, nice job, nice job. Nice job.
Oh, you still trying to get me in there? Oh, come on, buddy.
Great job, great job, great job. That top hook just came out.
Yep, top hook just leveraged out. Oh, man. Another big one.
Doing great. Doing great.
Whew. I can't even talk.
I know, I know. Oh, I got her. I got her. Oh.
I'll bet that fish is at least 35.
Ooh. That's a hefty one there, pal.
I might have to get my picture taken with that one.
Oh.
Almost everything that could go wrong, where it was running underneath, I thought for sure this was not going to work out well. But when it all came together, me and old Cody boy, we took one deep sigh of relief. What a fishery.
Wow. That is incredible.
And you're keeping it strong for us.
We are. This is what we work for, you know,
Yeah.
so the next generation has an opportunity like this. What a specimen.
Wow, beautiful.
That was incredible, man. I'm very happy to be witness to that. It never gets old, pal.
Ugh, that was great. So I get the question quite often, why don't I tie a loop knot when I'm throwing these plugs in these trees? The reason I don't do that is I'm throwing so hard that it hits the surface of the water and then oftentimes skips once or twice in there. If I have a loop knot, what happens is this front hook goes around my leader all the time. So what I do is I tie a real simple improved clinch knot, which many of you tie for just regular live bait situations. So I usually go around 4 times because this is a little heavier leader. I go through the hole, and then the circle I just created, I'm gonna take that tag, I'm gonna wrap it, I'm gonna go back in through that hole, and then I'm gonna cinch this up. Now I'm gonna lubricate it with a little saliva. And then it makes a nice, stiff entry here, and it's harder for that hook to reach over and grab it, so I don't foul this plug nearly as often. If it was a hingy bait with a loop knot there, then this would always catch that front piece of leader. And I'm using stiffer leader. I'm using 40 because we're throwing up inside these prop roots in here. But by doing it this way, you can see how the leader like comes off. It doesn't hang straight down. If I had a loop knot, this leader would be down here already. And because I'm gonna have so many skips and so much slack line most of the time, that happens. And I like to skip my lure in there, just make a direct cast in there, and then I let it settle so it will fall through the water column like this. It'll just rock down about a foot, and then I start darting it away. The reason I do that is when it makes a noise on the surface, gets in the hole in there and starts to fall, if I give it one little kick, it'll flash hard enough where a fish maybe 6, 8, 10 feet away will see it and he'll start moving toward it. By the time he closes the distance on this lure, then I start pulsing it out, then he'll run out, chase it, and hit it. And that's just a little tip that will put a few more fish in the boat for you. Okay, here's the tackle talk for the Captain Codty Pierce episode. And it's kind of a technical precision type deal because the casts have to be just right to fit in these tight spots. So again, I'm choosing 7'2", 6'10" rods. These are the Zodius rods from Shimano. They're more of a bass action, they're extra fast, and they have a medium heavy power to them. That is all important because you got to have the touch and you've got to have the power to pull the fish out. Now, attached to these, I have 2 Tranx reels. One's a 200, one's a 150. And I've spooled both of them up with 30-pound Power Pro Super Slick V2. Why 30? Because occasionally trying to skip these things in there, you'll get a backlash and you need to be able to pick it out. That 30-pound braid gives you a little bit of an advantage of picking out a few overruns. Plus, because of the line diameter, you have a little bit more abrasion resistance when a fish is running through the edges of the trees. I'm also using 40-pound leader. Now, I'm not using long lengths of leader, just short lengths, 2.5, maybe 3 feet max, but mostly 2.5 foot of Seaguar 40. And then I'm using both the standard, the standard weight 27 MR from Mirrolure and the new heavy Dean, which is the 28 MR. Very, very solid pick, especially on those deeper shorelines. I mash the barbs down with a pair of pliers on all the plugs that I'm using in there for 2 reasons. 1, it's a lot easier on the fish. 2, if you do get hung up and you don't have the barb on, you can sometimes banjo pick it off and it'll pop off the wood or the rock. But that's really the 2 setups that we used all day, 127 MR, 128 MR in the Codty Pierce show, and you saw it's a snook getter.
For an area that's been so challenged after a big natural disaster like what just happened with Hurricane Ian, you know, it's really, really good to see the rebounding effect that happens. A lot of places were inundated with up to 10 feet of storm surge, and you know, the bathymetry of the entire area has absolutely changed. But a lot of the grass flats are starting to come back now. You know, a lot of the red mangroves that are the next generation are up and coming. Buttonwoods are full of new growth. It is really amazing to see the resiliency of this area, and to be able to see how much life is still here. I think we did pretty good for the day.
There he is, there he is.
Yes, sir.
Woo! This is a
nice
good
redfish.
one. Oh yeah. When you start catching redfish, might be time to go to the lodge.
Yes, sir. Bacon cheeseburger has my name on it.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. Look at the snappers attacking them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you keep throwing in there on those old broken mangroves that died in the hurricane, and eventually you're thinking, I'm thinking this is snook country right here. But the reds are in there. I mean, it's the first red of the day, but it's the last fish for us. I think we.
What a day of plug fishing too. Snook, tarpon,
and
redfish.
You don't really associate fishing hard baits that, you know, this late in the year. You're already on soft plastic skipping, and here we go with a really nice redfish. Everything eats a plug. Tarpon, red, snook today, you name it.
Look at the blue on that tail.
Oh yeah, beautiful fish.
Sure is. So with this, this prevailing westerly wind, we knew as soon as we lined up on a lot of these snags from the hurricane that we were bound to encounter another game fish. We're bringing out some of the old tricks that we learned from Hurricane Charlie back in 2004, and it's still applicable today.
Well, everywhere you see a little bit of green, you throw up underneath there and give that Mirrolure a kick or two, and you're going to catch something.
Indeed we will.
All right, we'll put him in, then we'll wrap things up and go. Every time I go down to Southwest Florida, I feel a lot like I'm recapturing some nostalgia, and I find myself doing a little bit what Flip Pallet does by not wanting to let go of the past. I want to fish my way, the old way. I want to stay at the Tarpon Lodge. I want to fish with a guide, even though he's half my age, but he thinks like an old soul and he wants to keep the tradition going. And that's what I love about Lee County and fishing down in that part of the world. Charlotte Harbor is a really, really important estuary to our state. And we got to do all we can with Captains for Clean Water and the team down there to make sure it remains that way.